Good morning, children. Today we are going to learn another new grammar topic, that is conversation practice. That is the 14th Roman in your public examination. And conversation practice is nothing but dialogue writing. So in last year, that means in first year already you have this Roman. But remember one thing. So it is different from first year. Understand, children? This is different from first year. In first year, already situations given and the characters also given, and only they will give small blanks, and there you have to write the suitable answers. But here, coming to second year, it is somewhat different. So how it is? Here only situation will be given to you. Situation will give to you. And you have to write characters and as well as sentences also. And you have to write entire dialogue here. You have to remember this. Understand? So, communication is a very essential in everybody's life. That means conversation is the form of communication. Conversation is the form of communication. So, by we are communicating with each other because to get pleasure, and conversation is very essential to meet the new people. And not only that, children, those who are studying in second class, second inter, so you have a higher communication skills to get suitable jobs or if social and professional interactions. And in this unit, we will give some practice of English language. So if you practice it, it is very helpful in your day-to-day life. So every day we are communicating so many people. And social, that means we are moving in public. That means if you go to any bank or any post office or any railway station, so you have to communicate. So in that situation, so here in second year, the language, that means the conversation practice is given for you to improve your communication skills. And not only that, to get higher education and to get suitable jobs also. And when you are writing dialogue writing, first of all, you have to remember that two types of languages are there, formal and informal. So as you have in the letter writing. Formal language is used for higher officials, elderly people, or principal, teachers, like that, strangers. And informal language is used for family members, siblings, friends, close relatives. So you have to write formal language in formal situation, informal language in informal situation. And not only that, in second year, two types of dialogues are given here. One is face-to-face dialogue, that means conversation, and the second one is telephonic conversation. Telephonic conversation. So when you are conversing or when you have conversation on telephone, formal language. So, and when you are writing formal language, you have to write it indirect sentences in the formal language. And some modal auxiliaries are there. What are they? Would, could, may, might, like that. So, some modal auxiliaries also you have to use in the formal language. For example, may I know your name? That is formal. What is your name? That is informal. So that's why these modal auxiliaries are used for polite sentences. And when you are writing informal language, such words are avoided. No need to write those words. Only in formal language, you have to use modal auxiliaries. And when you are writing a dialogue, you have to remember one thing. And already I said it is entirely different from first year. So they have given the topic and they have given the characters. Only they will give some small blanks. There you have to write phrases. That means small words you have to write on these blanks. But here you have to write the whole situation. Whole situation you have to write and characters you have to create and you have to write from top to bottom. So that's why remember these 7 points when you are writing a dialogue. So the first one is write the heading. So what is the situation? On the first day at college or at bank or at hotel or at railway station. So what is the situation you have to mention first? That means you have to write a heading. And the second one, write a minimum of 10 dialogues. That means you create 2 characters. And in each one character, at least you have to write 5 sentences for each character. Each sentence contains only half mark. Okay, minimum 10 dialogues you have to write. And not only that, opening must be with suitable greetings. So when you meet any other person, good morning. If the person is very close to you, hi, hello, like that. So here also, when you are writing dialogue, opening must be with suitable greeting. And closing must be with suitable bidding. Bidding means farewell. So when you are taking leave, that means when you are going. So at that time, what you have to say? Bye. Bye. Goodbye. Okay. In the same way, here also closing must be with suitable bidding. And here, maintain brevity. Maintain brevity. So brevity means short forms. You should not write lengthy sentences. If you write lengthy sentences, you won't get full marks. You won't get 1 mark for each and every sentence. Only you will get half mark for each sentence. That's why remember one thing. You need not write lengthy sentences. Short form of sentences you have to write. And then use formal language for formal situations. If the situation is formal, you have to write formal expressions. That means a formal language. And if it is informal, you can write informal language. And next, maintain the context in the middle of the conversation. So, what is the context? What is the situation? So, you have to maintain the correct, that means the context. What is the correct concept you have to use in the middle of the conversation? And next, keeping in view the given topic for dialogue and true relationship is most important. So, this is important. So, the speakers, the relationship between speakers, that is most important. So, you have to write relevant answers for each. So, one sentence And here in second year, dialogue writing for 5 marks allotted for this dialogue writing. So in first year 4 marks, but here 5 marks given for this. Now we will see some formulaic expressions. That means formal and informal. See, first one is greetings. That means when you greet somebody. So the formal language is good morning sir, how are you? And informal is hi, hello, how do you do? So I said that it depending upon persons and situations, the language is changed. That means the formulaic expressions changed according to the situations and persons. And you can use your language when you are writing a dialogue. And here after greeting, response to greetings. So if anybody greet you, so you have to give response. That is the manners. So what is that? Good morning sir, I am fine, thank you. I am excellent. That means I am fine, thank you. That is in formal language. I am excellent, I am good. That is informal. But you have to give response to the greetings. And third one, introducing oneself. That means introducing ourselves. So I would like to introduce myself. My name is, I come from, like that I'll say about myself. And here, hello, I am. This one also you can start, but this is informal. Okay. And introducing others. If you are introducing your friends to other friends, so you can use informal language. And I would like to introduce Mr. Ramu. Here is Mr. Ravi, like that. So when you are practicing these situations or expressions, you came to know which is formal and which is informal words. You came to know about it. Okay. And giving personal information. For example, I have to give my personal information to you. So my name is Shanti Sureka. I come from. So I am a lecturer. So like that. So I have to say my information. And I am. You can start with I am also. And making request. Give me your pen please. Making request. That is important. If you don't have pen, so your friend has 2 pens. So what will you do? Immediately you grab your friend's pen and you will write. That is not correct. You have to make a request. Give me your pen please. Like that. That is formal. And not only that, here seeking permission. Seeking permission. That means, may I come in, sir? And when you are coming late, so already the lecturer was in your classroom, you should ask permission. And not only that, making offer. Can I help you? May I help you? So when you are on the way, so one old man is not able to carry his goods and everything, you go and ask him, may I help you? Can I help you? So that is offering. That means offer. And here, giving suggestions, advice. Let's join the spoken English. You would better stop smoking. They are the suggestions, advices given by somebody. If you follow or not, that is the secondary thing. But they are advices. And seeking information. So if you are a new to any place, for example, you are new to Palakolu, so you don't know the way to Chambers Junior College. So how will you ask? If you ask any stranger, you should ask him in a polite way. What is that? Could you please tell me the way to Chambers Junior College? So that is the formal way, formal language. Tell me the way to Chambers Junior College. That is the informal. You should not ask any stranger like this. That is informal language. You should ask, could you please tell me the way to Chambers Junior College? Okay. Next, giving a positive response. Positive response. Yes, please, surely, certainly, with pleasure. Yes, of course. They all are positive responses. And giving a negative response. No, never, sorry, I don't know. They are negative responses. Expressing apology. Please forgive me. I am sorry for being late. So if you done any mistake, you should ask sorry. You should apologize. Okay, you should regret that what you have done. And here, expressing agreement. If you agree with any other's views or opinions, you can say that, oh, I agree, that's a nice idea. Oh, what a good idea, what a wonderful idea. If you expressing your disagreement, that means you did not agree with their opinions and views. Then what will you say? I am not convinced. I disagree. And well, I don't know. Like that you will say. And here, telephone talk. When you are talking in a telephone, you should very careful. So here, hello, could I speak to Mr. Raju please? For example, you phone to your friend. His mother lifted the phone. Then how will you ask? What will you say? Auntie, could I speak to Mr. Raju please? Like that. Is there Raju at home? You should not ask like that. Could I? Please. Could I speak to Mr. Raju please? Like that you have to ask in telephone. And from starting to ending, you should be very careful when you are talking or speaking in the telephone. Okay. So, here you have to practice these formula of expressions and they are very useful in your day-to-day life. Why? Because nowadays all the world depends upon communication skills only. And when you are facing an interview, they will see your communication skills only. They did not mention about and technical skills. That is the secondary thing. First, they concentrate on your communication skills. To get higher education, to get suitable jobs, communication skills are very, very important. That's why this conversation practice is given under communication skills. To improve your skills, communication skills. The second year Inter-English book. So, we make you learn English language and we make you practice the sentences. They will helpful in your daily situation. That means interactions. When you interact with social or when you interact with a professional. So they were very helpful for you. So practice well and use these expressions in your day-to-day life. And you have to use formal language with everybody. Okay. Now we will learn that. See here. These dialogue ratings, that means these conversation practice, are there in your textbook. You have to practice it. 13 face-to-face conversations and 2 or telephonic conversations. See, first one is introducing oneself. Introducing oneself, I already told you about this. So, we have to introduce ourselves. I would like to introduce myself. My name is, like that. And introducing others. If you are introducing your parents to others, or if you are introducing your family members to others, you will use introducing others. This type of conversation. And next, making requests. Making requests. If you want anything, if you want any information, or if you want any help from others, you should make a request. And fourth one onwards, here situation is given for you. Situation is given for you. What is that? Inviting your friend to your birthday party. Inviting your friend to your birthday party. So you have to invite your friend. That means the conversation between you and your friend. That means you can write informal language. The situation is given and you have to create the character that one speaker is you and another one is your friend. And you have to write minimum 10 dialogues. 5 dialogues for you and 5 dialogues for your friend. Okay. So, fifth one, dialogue between the teacher and a student who has come to class late. Here, dialogue between teacher and a student. The student has come late to school. Then teacher is asking the reason why he came late. So the conversation between the teacher and student, you have to write. You must write relevant answers, one sentence after another sentence. You have to maintain relationship between these sentences also. And sixth one, at the railway reservation counter between the passenger and the clerk. Passenger means traveler. Dialogues between traveler and a passenger. For example, you are going to Tirupati. So you went to railway station and there in reservation counter you are inquiring that any reservation is available or not. So the conversation, what happened between you and the clerk, here you have to write in the conversation. And next, seventh one, at the reception counter of a hotel, between the receptionist and the guest. Reception. Reception means reception of a hotel. Reception counter, that is. Reception means not marriage reception. Reception counter. So in every institution there is a reception counter. So, and here the dialogues between the receptionist and the guest. So, usually, what were the dialogues? What are the dialogues there? Any room is available or not? So, can you book a room? Like that. So, the situation is already given and you have to create these sentences between the receptionist and the guest. And eighth one, at the hospital, the dialogues between the doctor and patient. Okay, so doctor means he will ask patient, the patient will tell about his sickness and everything to the doctor, and doctor prescribes some medicines and everything. So that is the situation given, and you have to write dialogues between the doctor and a patient. And here at the bank, between the customer and clerk. At the bank, so daily we are going to bank for some other purposes to open account. Here the situation is given. So the customer wants to open an savings bank account. So he was asking details, some information from the clerk. So here the situation given, and you have to make the sentences like that. And here at a restaurant, between the customer and the waiter. So restaurant generally they're talking about food items. Restaurant. So the customer was asking menu card, and the waiter is showing the menu card, and he tells what are the items were available and everything. So what the conversation is going between them, and what did they ask for. So you have to write in your dialogue. And here at the market, between the shopkeeper and the customer. At the market, vegetable market or any provisions shop or any fancy shop or any ready-made shop. So what are the dialogues? So in which situation that is? What is the situation that is? So you have to write the sentences according to the situation. And at the post office means generally clerk will be there. So customer and clerk, you can create it characters. And here at the library, between the librarian and the student to borrow a book. So in our college also we have library. Librarian is there. And if you want to borrow any book from him, you can go to librarian and you will ask permission. Then you will borrow some books from the library. So here also the situation you have to write as a dialogue. And here total 13 face-to-face conversations are there in different situations. The sentences also different from each other. So you have to change the sentences for each and every expressions, each and every conversation. So if you practice well these sentences which are given, which are provided in your textbook, so they will helpful to you to gain more knowledge or to improve your communication skills. Now coming to the telephonic conversations. So nowadays telephone plays an important role in our lives, isn't it? But you should learn how to speak English in telephone. How to speak in telephone, you should learn that. Okay. So here telephonic conversation and leaving a message. Generally, if we want to talk with anybody, so how will you ask? Could I speak to Mr. Murthy, please? May I know your good name, please? May I know who is speaking? If the person is unknown to you, so what will you ask? May I know who is speaking? Or you just want to hold your phone? Hold the line, please. Hold on the line. Please hold on the line. Or if you phone to any official and he is not available at home, then what will you do? Can I leave a message? Can I leave a message? Or if you only lifted phone and your father is not available, somebody phone to your father. So then what will you say? Shall I take the message? He is not at home. He is gone. He has gone. Shall I take a message? If you have wrong call, that means wrong number. Sorry, I have got the wrong number. Sorry, I have got the wrong number. If you did any wrong number, so you have to say, I am sorry, I have got the wrong number. If anybody telling a phone number and if you want to clarify the number, so please, can you repeat the number please? Can you repeat the number please? Like that, you have to learn some impressions and expressions while you are talking on the telephone. And here also, leaving a message. For example, you phone to a lecturer. He is not available. So, and you ask his family member's permission and leaving a message to that. So, in the telephonic conversation, you will find that type of conversations. And next here, telephonic conversation between the principal and the parent. Principal and the parent. So, what is the situation? The principal is complaining to the parent about the performance of student. The principal is complaining about the performance of a student to the parent. Both principal and parent, they were talking in the telephone. So, what is the situation? Situation is already given. So, what are the dialogues? Already you know that. So, like that, in different situations, we are using telephonic conversations also. For example, to book a ticket, to book a reservation. So, used to make a phone call and we are booking a ticket. In the same way, here also, railway, not only railway reservation counter, if you want a book, a room in the hotel, so through a telephone you can book it. But your language is in a formal language. You have to use formal language. If you learn all these dialogues, 13 dialogues, face-to-face dialogues, and in different situations, when you are moving in social to interact with other people, so you will use these type of conversations. And you will get 2 telephonic conversations in your textbook. That is, one is leaving a message and the second one is principal and parent. In that, principal is complaining about performance of the student to a parent. If you learn these dialogues well and practice the expressions, that means formulaic expressions I already told, and formal language and informal language also, and some examples also I told you. So if you practice well and well, and if you habituate to speak it with your friends or with your family members, and they are very helpful to you to improve your communication skills. And children, remember one thing, nowadays communication skills are playing an important role in worlds. World means in every institution or in every IT companies, in everywhere they are looking for communication skills. So you must improve your communication skills to get higher education, and not only that, suitable jobs in your future. Here you'll see a dialogue. See, here situation is given. Write a dialogue between the lecturer and a student who is trying to find out from the lecturer about the different career options available to him after the intermediate course. So here the dialogue between a student and a lecturer. The student who is seeking different career options after intermediate, which career options are available to him. He wants to know from his lecturer. So here, if you read this dialogue, you came to know about that. So here already the situation is given like this, the question is given like this, and you write the sentences, dialogues like this one by one. Two speakers are here. One is student and another one is lecturer. So already I said write each one 5 dialogues, minimum 5 dialogues for each speaker. So here, good evening sir. First, you have to start the dialogue with suitable greeting. So you have to remember the point. And good evening sir. Greeting, giving response to the greeting. Lecturer, even though he was a lecturer, but he is giving the response to the greeting. Good evening, have you seen your results? He asked. Next again, student, yes sir, just coming from internet center, I got 87 marks sir. So the lecturer is asking. The lecturer is asking, so have you seen your results? Yes sir, just coming from the internet center, I got 87 percentage, he said. And lecturer, congrats, good performance, keep it up. So after hearing this sentence, he congratulated, lecturer congratulated. So in the middle of the sentences also keep some context. So one point is there. So according to the situation, according to the dialogue, so you have to use some expressions like this. Congrats, good performance. Again student, thank you sir. May I know the courses available after intermediate? So he congratulated him. Again response. Student is giving response. Thank you sir. And he wants to know the courses available and after intermediate. Next, well, you have quite a good number of options with your MPC background. You can go for engineering, BSc MPC, computer courses, etc. Then what lecturer said? Okay, you have MPC background. That's why you can join in engineering. You can take engineering and you can join in a BTech. Or if you're not interested in engineering, you can take BSc. That means degree. And computer courses, like that he said. And after that, student means sometimes without saying any word, simply we are giving some expressions, sighing, like that. So this one also one of the sigh. And which course ensures good job opportunities, sir? So in which course offers a good job? Engineering or degree or computer courses? Which degree ensures good job opportunities, sir? He was asking. And lecturer, oh well, it's not just a question of job opportunities. A hardworking and honest person gets employment. So the lecturer was saying that it's not just the question of job opportunities. So a hardworking and honest person gets employment. So they did not see his technical skills. They did not see his communication skills here. Only they will observe hardworking. And is that person honest? And next, irrespective of the course of study, it's your aptitude that should be the criteria for your selection of course. So it's your aptitude. That's if you are a hardworking and if you are an honest person, then you have to select any course. And thank you so much, sir. I will keep in mind your valuable advice. Bye, sir. Here, this one, in this sentence, lecturer is giving suggestion to student. So, after that, what he is saying? Thank you so much. Why? Because he gave him suggestion. So, that's why he was saying that I will keep in mind your valuable advice, sir. And he was saying, thank you, sir, also. And lecturer, you are welcome. All the best for your bright future. Bye. And here, bidding. So, when you are closing the dialogue, you have to close it with a suitable bidding. That means farewell, goodbye, bye, like that. Here also, it was concluded with bye. And it started with greeting and it ended with bidding. So, in this format, you have to write the dialogue writing. And it is 14th Roman in our public examination. And you will get choice. That means one face-to-face conversation and another one is telephonic conversation will give in public examination. You can select any dialogue. You can select any one and you can write. It carries 5 marks. Now this is telephonic conversation. Telephonic conversation between the principal and the parent. And the principal is telling the parent about the performance of the student. It is generally happened in schools and colleges. Okay, here telephonic conversation. So how to write telephonic conversation? That means telephonic conversation generally you speak on the telephone. And some expressions also I told, some sentences also I told you. And here telephonic conversation, but here we have to write dialogue between principal and the parent. The principal So Prasad, yes, Prasad speaking. Again, principal. Good morning, sir. I am Tulsiram, principal. Greeting here. And Prasad, good morning, sir. How are you? And principal, fine thanks. I'm sorry to say this, your son Anish never attends the classes. Even if he attends, he keeps talking to his friends. Disturb the workloads. Here, the principal is giving complaints about the students' behavior in the class. So, he was not attending the classes properly, that means he was irregular, and not only irregular, he disturbs the whole class. And here we are, oh, I am sorry to hear that. So, every parent can feel like that, you know. So, principal, I don't think the lecturers are happy with me. Even he disturbed the lecturers also. And Prasad, he was very good in high school and never got any complaints. But when he was in high school, he was a very good student. We did not get any complaint. Principal, well, I am saying that it might be because of his bad friendship, he failed in 3 subjects. Because of bad friendship, he was acting like that. And not only that, he failed in 3 subjects. And his progress report was also sent to your home. Progress report also sent to his father. But the boy did not show the progress report to his father. Generally, it happens in our houses also, isn't it? And Prasad, oh God, I'm really sad to learn this. Please accept my sincere apologies. So the parent pleaded, principal, sir, it's my sincere apology. He is apologizing himself on behalf of his son. Here, principal, you need not apologize. Your son should be sorry. If there is no change in his behavior, severe action will be taken against him. You should not apologize. Your child should be apologized. If he did not change his behavior, so we will take action against him. Like the principal wanted. And Prasad, please excuse me this time. I will certainly try to improve his behavior. Prasad pleaded the principal, sir, just one time, just forgive my son. I'll make him to improve his behavior. Principal, I'm sure he will do it. Prasad, thank you, sir. So, this telephonic conversation also started with greeting and ended with the greeting. In the same way, you have to write dialogues. Already I said, according to the situation, you have to write the full dialogues. That means each dialogue for each character, 2 speakers. And you have to write minimum 10 dialogues and 5 dialogues to each speaker. And you have choice in this roman. 2 dialogue writings will be given to you. Will be given. And one is telephonic conversation and the second one is the face-to-face conversation. You can select whatever easy, you can select and you can write the dialogues. And it carries 5 marks. And when you are going to write, you have to put concentration on formula of expressions. And not only that, you have to practice the sentences more and more times. Some examples are given in depends, what a conversation depends upon person and situations. It is not same in all situations. So, prepare well and read well, and you can implement these sentences in your day-to-day life and improve your common